We're all unique in our own way. Some of us are shy, and some of us are social. Some of us are tall, and some of us are very short. And we always say that we should celebrate our differences. We're all human, and each one of us brings something amazing to this world. But today, we'll be looking at 15 of the most odd people you won't believe actually exist. That's right. We said odd, simply because it's very rare to come across people like the ones we're about to show you. So, let's start off with number 15, Brianna from New York. Brianna has lived with neurofibromatosis type 1 since she was 2 months old. Tumors cover the entire left side of her body, from her neck all the way down, inside and out. She's 28 now, with 10 surgeries behind her. One left her relearning how to walk at just 8. Another took her voice, and she had to learn how to speak all over again. But through it all, she kept her spirit. She loves to sing, even when it hurts like hell. The stairs don't shake her anymore. What she's been through would flatten most people, but Brianna moves forward with quiet strength. I'm used to the pain, she says, but I'm not letting it stop me. Life hasn't been easy. Her body carries the story of every procedure, every fight, every hard day. But her voice is her own. It's strong, clear, and still rising. Brianna doesn't want pity. She wants to be seen for the person she is. Number 14, Agus Sofian. Agus Sofian's life changed when his right foot began growing uncontrollably. He was 15. Now 36, his foot weighs about 10 kilograms, swollen with pain and uncertainty. Doctors once said it was a benign tumor, but no one had real answers. And in fact, he still doesn't. The swelling continued. He limps through each day in discomfort, worried he may no longer be able to provide for his wife, Octavia, and their daughter. Agus doesn't complain. He simply adapts, but he's scared. It just keeps getting bigger, he said. Treatment is out of reach financially, and local hospitals have done all they can. Despite everything, his wife remains fiercely loyal. He always finds a way, she says. Agus is still hoping for help. He's trying to raise money for proper care, not just for himself, but so he can keep being the husband and father he refuses to stop being. His spirit hasn't swollen with fear. Only resolve. He doesn't want help or fake tears, just a chance. Number 13, Holden Cisak. Holden is 12, full of energy, and living with a condition that makes him bite himself without meaning to. It's called Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, which disrupts muscle control and impulse regulation. Left unchecked, Holden would chew his lips, fingers, and even arms. His father, Devin, uses special braces to stop the injuries. It's exhausting, but necessary. At first, it was terrifying, Devin said. Some kids chew their fingertips off. But he made a choice, not just to protect Holden, but to give him a full, joyful life. Holden plays games with friends, goes rollerblading, and plays sledge hockey in a custom sled. He's just like any kid, with a bit more gear. Devin pushes him to experience everything. His disability doesn't define him, he said. It's just one part of him. Every scraped knee, every laugh, every new adventure, they all matter. Holden's not trying to be normal. He's just trying to be Holden, and with his dad in his corner, he is. Number 12, Erica and Ava Sandoval. Erica and Ava began life facing odds that would scare any parent. The twins were born joined from the lower rib cage to the pelvis, sharing a third leg and several vital structures. Doctors gave them roughly a 30% chance of survival. Their mom made the choice to move forward, hoping they would get a life outside hospital walls. For years, the girls learned to adapt together, eating, playing, and growing as one unit. When they were old enough, doctors decided separation was possible but risky. The surgery was long, complex, and demanding, but it worked. Today, they are 11 and living separately, each with her own routines, personality, and daily challenges. They attend school, play, and tease each other as any sisters would. Their lives aren't defined by the surgery or the headlines that followed. They're defined by the simple joy of finally having the chance to grow up side by side, not connected, but still inseparable. Number 11. Jenna Bullen. At just 3 years old, Jenna Bullen survived a fire that left her with burns covering 95% of her body. It happened in seconds: gasoline, a flash, and flames that changed everything. Over the years, she's endured more than 80 surgeries. In 2015, her heart stopped on the operating table. She came back, but the depression that followed nearly broke her. "I thought this was just my life forever," she said. Then her brother told her he was having a baby. Something shifted. "It gave me a reason to get better," Jenna said. Now, at 29, she's weeks from graduating with a psychology degree. She's planning a cap-and-gown photo shoot, something she never thought she'd want. But it's not about posing. It's about claiming space. "I used to hate the camera," she said. "Now I know it's okay to look different." She found self-love through survival, not by pretending it was easy, but by learning she never had to look like anyone else to be whole. Number 10. Kirsten. Kirsten lives with Friedreich's ataxia, which is an extremely rare disorder that slowly steals muscle coordination. Once a varsity cheerleader, she was the girl they tossed into the air without hesitation. But things changed. On a family trip, her parents noticed her sister Lauren struggling with balance. After tests confirmed Lauren had FA, Kirsten realized she was struggling too. 2 weeks later, both were diagnosed. "I was numb," Kirsten said. "I didn't want to hear it." There's no cure. The condition is progressive. But instead of falling into despair, she turned fear into fuel. Her parents rigged up a harness in the garage. She trains daily. Some days, walking downstairs feels impossible, but she keeps moving. She's now building a career creating content for the rare disease community. She's also in love. Her boyfriend TJ never blinked at her diagnosis. Kirsten still faces judgment. People think she's drunk because of her gait, but that only fuels her mission. "You're not alone," she says, and she means it. Number 9. Grace Novacek. At just 18, she has endured 33 surgeries and she's still smiling. Born with Escobar syndrome, her joints don't move easily, and scoliosis has bent her spine into constant discomfort. The list of operations is long: jaw stretches, spinal fusion, cleft palate repair, but it's her quiet strength that sticks with you. Grace can't dress herself without help. She wears leg braces, but she's never let her diagnosis define her limits. "Some people see my body before they see me," she said, "but I know who I am." She's had to prove herself in every room, because when you're born into a world that misunderstands difference, being visible isn't always easy. But Grace makes herself seen. She sets goals, hits them, and moves forward. People have judged her before even knowing her name, but she's learned to hold her head up. Grace isn't just living with Escobar syndrome, she's living with purpose, and she's not done, not even close. Number 8. James and Danny. James is a soft-spoken man who wears crop tops and paints his nails. But on the other side, Danny is a bold, no-nonsense woman who gets called Sir at gas stations. Together, they're raising a daughter and ignoring every rule society wrote for them. They met online, fell fast, and married just days after meeting in person. No games, no explanations, just love that felt right. James proudly calls himself a dad. Danny runs the household with quiet confidence. People don't always get it. They ask, "Who's the man in the relationship?" Or, "Is this even real?" But none of that matters in their world. What matters is that their daughter, Carson, sees love that shows up every single day. She has parents who laugh hard, love loud, and teach her that family doesn't come with labels. "We both wear the shorts," they like to joke. And for them, that says it all. No one plays a part. They just play their roles, with heart, grit, and no apologies. Number 7. Isabella Leclerc. Isabella Leclerc was born with Parkes-Weber syndrome, a rare condition that caused extreme swelling in her right leg. By the time she was a teenager, the leg had grown so large that daily life became a challenge. Walking, shopping, finding clothes, it all changed. But Isabella didn't let the stares or questions shrink her spirit. One day she put on a swimsuit, took a photo, and posted it. Not to make a statement, but because she felt good in her own skin. That image spread everywhere. People saw her confidence and courage and called it inspiring. Isabella just called it real. She went on to compete in pageants and earned the title of First Princess. Her sister calls her fearless. She calls herself human. She knows there's no cure. She knows the world stares, but she doesn't let it stop her. "If I had the chance to change it," she once said, "I wouldn't." And she meant it, with every step, every smile, and every unapologetic inch. Number 6. Lizzie Velasquez. Lizzie Velasquez was born with a rare genetic condition that prevented her from gaining weight or growing like other children. Her entire life, she looked far younger than she was, which made her the target of cruel comments and relentless bullying. Kids laughed at her. Strangers stared. At one point, an online video labeled her the world's ugliest woman, something no one should have to see about themselves. But Lizzie refused to let her condition, or the world's cruelty, decide her worth. She threw herself into speaking, writing, and building a life defined by purpose instead of pity. She became an author, a motivational speaker, and in 2017, the subject of the documentary A Brave Heart. Her message has reached millions. Strength isn't born from perfection, but from choosing yourself when others won't. Lizzie didn't just rise above the comments. She built an entire career out of turning pain into connection. Today, she's a reminder that resilience isn't loud. It's steady, honest, and earned. All right, now, let's head over to Number 5. The Folded Man. Li Hua spent nearly 30 years bent completely in half. At 18, he developed ankylosing spondylitis, a rare disease that froze his spine forward, locking his chin into his chest. He couldn't stand, lie flat, or even lift his head to look ahead. He ate, breathed, and slept in a permanent fold. Doctors said surgery was too dangerous, so he lived that way for decades. Then, a surgical team in Shenzhen stepped in. Led by Dr. Tao Huiren, they took on the impossible. Through 4 intense procedures, they broke and rebuilt Li's spine in gradual stages. Recovery was long, painful, and unforgiving, but it worked. For the first time in nearly 3 decades, he stood upright. He didn't get back time, but he reclaimed something else: his height, his breath, his ability to look people in the eye. It wasn't a miracle. It was the result of stubborn resolve, from a man who wouldn't give up and a team that refused to walk away. Number 4. Jose. Jose was born in Ciudad Juarez with a large tumor stretched across his shoulder, pressing into his neck and face. It grew dangerously close to his heart. His family had no way to pay for care. Hospital after hospital turned them away. Then one day, while helping a church group carry groceries, everything changed. The volunteers saw him, asked questions, and got involved. Within days, Homeland Security escorted Jose and his family across the U.S. border under protection. In Albuquerque, doctors finally offered hope. Jose still lowers his head when he talks, unsure how people see him. But when someone asks what he'll do after surgery, he lights up. "Play soccer," he says. "Ride a bike. No media twist, no big headline. Just a kid who wants to run. His condition is serious, but his spirit isn't. That quiet smile, that dream of open fields and scraped knees, that's not weakness. It's life waiting to start, and Jose's ready for it. Number 3. Anjali Kumari and Keshav Kumar. 8-year-old Anjali Kumari and her younger brother, Keshav, live in India. Both were born with 2 rare disorders, cutis laxa and progeria, that cause their skin to sag, wrinkle, and age beyond their years. Their parents noticed something was wrong when Anjali recovered from pneumonia as a baby. Her skin stayed loose. Then Keshav was born with the same signs. Despite the stares and cruel names, Anjali goes to school. Monkey, old lady. She's heard them all. Their father works as a laundryman and the treatment is too expensive. Most care comes from homeopathy. Some government help trickles in, but there's no cure. Just time, patience, and the strength to wake up each day and keep going. And they do. Every single day. They live quietly, but fiercely. You wouldn't know it from the stares they get, but these 2 carry a kind of strength you don't teach. They just have it. What do you think about them? Let us know. Number 2. Jess and David. Walk into Jess's room and you'd think it belonged to a toddler. Bottles, coloring books, plush toys, but everything's her size. Jess is 21 and she lives in Florida with her boyfriend David. She's part of the adult baby community. To her, it's not a kink or a trend. It's how she copes. Jess survived abuse growing up, and little space is where she finds peace. Wearing diapers, drinking from bottles, it's her version of calm. David doesn't share the lifestyle, but he supports it, fully. He helps with bedtime routines, listens when she spirals, and shows up, no judgment. To most people, their life looks odd, but for them, it works. Jess says it's helped her more than therapy. If it makes her feel safe, that's what matters, David says. They're not performing anything for show. There's no script here. Just 2 people building a safe space, one routine at a time. Their story isn't about labels. It's about love that listens. All right, guys. Now, let's end this with Number 1. Ariana and Victor. Ariana and Victor both live with epidermolysis bullosa, a rare condition where skin tears or blisters with the slightest touch. They met on Facebook, trading messages about the constant pain and daily routines most people couldn't imagine. Their bond grew slowly but deeply. During the COVID-19 lockdown, they were separated. When they finally met at Ariana's college graduation, Victor smiled and said, "She carried herself like nothing could break her." Ariana now uses social media to talk openly about EB, the harsh truths, the mental strain, the ignorant comments. "People question if my skin's even real," she says. But she's not backing down. Neither is he. Their relationship isn't some overly polished love story. It's honest, raw, and built on shared reality. They don't hide their pain, and that's exactly why it works. "We show everything," Ariana says, "and we still love each other." What they have isn't flawless. It's real. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.